Good evening and welcome to a little off-season chat. And this evening's guest, most of you know him, most of you have seen him. I know you've heard his name if you've been to any of the presentations at the end of the day. And we've got Mr. Adam Geyer, who is now the holder of the number one plate for all of Nehmer. Adam?
Yep. Yeah, it's nice. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
And just do a little introduction of yourself for those that don't know you.
Yeah, I'm Adam Geyer. I number 24. One now, but 24 on an RS 660. Right out of Seco Sports Cycle, and yeah, work for KTM, race motorcycles. That's about it. That's the introduction.
Well, like I said, everybody's kind of like family at the track anyway. So everybody knows everybody at least by sight.
Yep.
A lot of times you don't have time to just stop and BS with anybody, just because race weekends are kind of crazy. But it's been impressive. I know I've been out on the track in the amateur side, and I've had you come by, and it's really impressive to see what you guys can do. You young guys can do with those 660s. I mean, you and Ben and Jacob. Yeah, you guys. It's just amazing that you're within 3 seconds of the track record on a lightweight bike. It's 12s, 13s all day long. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to do is, what we'll do is we'll take it round by round.
Okay.
And as everybody who was there knows, round one was horrible. It rained all weekend. I didn't even ride. I just wasn't gonna go out and do anything.
I think the best part about round one was it wasn't super puddly, if I remember correctly. It was wet and it was raining, but it wasn't like normally we get a lot of standing water everywhere, and even with rains, it's like sometimes a little iffy. But I think round one was pretty good. Like probably some of the best rain conditions we've had in years, in my opinion. So it was actually, I hate riding in the rain, and that was totally doable. So. Yeah.
I don't take the chance anymore.
I get it. Yeah,
the reward's not there, and like I mentioned when we were backstage, if you break a hip, they're just going to put me down at my age. So let's talk about round one. So you did 5 races that I can see.
Yeah, it should have been 5.
And I did my homework. I've got my notes, so I'm going to put them on the spot. So you did 5 races, and you did 5 races all 6 rounds, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I did more than that.
You did more than that.
I did a bunch at the end of the season because we knew we were in the running for the overall, so we started to pick up some races and do some stuff. That thanks to John Grush and everybody that supported that push at the end of the season. But round 1, 2, and we didn't really even know or really think about the overall until after the Classic, I want to say. But I picked up the dash at the Classic, started racing that, and then at round 5, we picked up lightweight super sport on John Grush's 660 to just try to build a points cushion, because I knew Eric Wood knew that he was in the running for it too. So he picked up a 6th class. I picked up a 7th, so that I would know that I kind of had, like, if something happened in one race, they take the best 6 from each weekend. So I kind of knew I could have a buffer if I could go out and win lightweight super sport. So kind of, again, so yeah, it was 5 races for round 1 and 2, 6 for 3 and 4, and then 7 for 5 and 6. A lot of racing.
And I missed those additional 2, but we'll talk about those when we get to it. So Expert GTL, you took a 3rd.
Yep. Yeah, Eli was on the 790. I think my dad was out there too, if I remember correctly. I think he might have gotten 2nd. I can't remember if that one went full length. It probably didn't, but whatever the case may be, like, I'm normally not a great rain rider, so like going out for GT. I was just kind of trying to survive, I think. And Eli was on John Donald's 790. He goes incredibly well in the rain.
He's like the Rain Man.
Yeah, I just, was just trying to keep it on too. And I knew my old man was really good in the rain too. He's ridden there for 1,000 years, and he's definitely tough to make a move on. If he starts in front of me in the rain, it's definitely, I'm not making a move on him. That's for sure. It's like anywhere I would even potentially try, he definitely knows how to play defense for sure. So I think that one kind of just went like that. I think I was third the whole race. I can't remember exactly, but pretty straightforward. Standard GTL. I feel like it got shortened. I'd have to check the results on, but Speed Hive's a mess, so you can only see.
Yeah,
it gets shut off. You can only see some of it, and
Speed Hive is horrible.
It can be.
Then we've got and these aren't in the correct running order. These are just what they have. I pull this off of the results.
Yeah.
Just so we could go over stuff. Lightweight, expert lightweight GP.
Yep.
Took a second.
Yeah, Eli rides his motard in this one. So like this is the one that he did his 13 in at whatever round he did that. I can't remember, 4 or 5 probably. But he normally just tries to chase or beat me on his motard, and definitely beat me on his motard. And now actually he might have been on 792, but who knows? Whatever. He was on something and he beat me in the rain. Whoopee.
Yeah, if it's raining, there's no shame in having Eli Block beat you.
Yeah, I think we both went pretty good in that one though. Like I feel like he did like some 19s in the rain in that one, and then I think I was doing like 21s or somewhere in that region. So probably some of my fastest rain laps. So I was pumped with it, but I kind of knew from the start in that one that he had me covered in the wet. So I think I just gave that one up and didn't even.
And then we've got lightweight Superbike, and you got a little penalty on that one, did you? Round one?
Yeah. I think I either crept or jumped the start, and then so I won the race and then got docked to second. So,
and then of course Thunderbike, you won that class in the rain.
Yeah.
I think it started to dry up at that point, didn't it?
Yeah. I think we were on. It was just cold. Yeah. And then I crashed in Super Twins. So.
And then the Super Twin combined.
Yeah, I crashed in that one.
Yeah, you still took a 6th. I don't know how many bikes were in it, but in the rain.
In that one, but all good.
And then we rolled into round 2, and round 2 was kind of a preservation round for you, wasn't it? You had something else that was going on shortly thereafter.
Yeah, the wedding was like 2 weeks after that, or a week after that, somewhere in that region. It was real close to the wedding day. Honestly, it was kind of nice that the weather was shitty for the first 2 rounds, because it was like, you ride in the rain and you're kind of just riding conservative and not. I mean, personally, I'm not breaking any records in the rain, but that kind of was nice. I didn't really have to go too crazy to, ride my heart out the first couple rounds before the wedding, but. It was definitely in the back of my mind to not get hurt. My wife would definitely kill me, but So round 2 was a little preservation, but it's all good.
Round 2 was a good round for you as well. You took first in GTL, third in lightweight GP.
Yeah, I think my dad beat me in that one too.
You really can't complain if your dad's beating you.
I don't. I'm not complaining.
You really can't.
Just explaining.
We know you're just feeling sorry for him and letting him do it. But
no, there is no feeling sorry for him.
Then we got lightweight Superbike. You took a first.
Yep.
And Thunderbike, you took a second. And then Super Twins, you took a third. So all in all, a really strong round.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. I think, GTL was good. I think Eli was out of that at that point, maybe, or don't even remember, to be honest. Like I don't even remember anything in the Classic from before the Classic, it feels like. But GTL good. I feel like that went full length. But I feel like we had rain Saturday at round 2.
It was another shitty weekend. There's no
Just
doubt.
shitty. Either that or cold or whatever it was. But yeah, GTL. What did you say? I think I won lightweight superbike in that one.
You did.
Yeah, all right. That one was good. I think GP. What was that? Second, you said, or third?
Third.
Yeah. So Eli must have beat me, and then my old man too. So that one was tough. I think it was dry by then, maybe, or maybe it was halfway. That's what it was. It was drying up for lightweight GP, and there were some puddles in one. There were some puddles in like 8, 10, a couple spots.
Yeah.
But we put slicks on. So I think we went out for one lap in GP, and then they sent us back in, and then I switched from rains to dries. And then so I was kind of timid on the puddle in one, and that was when Isaac Maycott had crashed trying to go around the outside of me in one there, and he just hit the water.
Because it had like a river going across one.
Yeah. So you had to like go in, get your braking done early, and then just like you were like
turn it up and then tip it over,
and then turn it back in. Yeah, and hope that you're
because I took an amateur lightweight superbike. I took the whole shot, and because we hadn't seen it, and as I'm going into one, I saw this river going across the track, and I'm on slicks.
Yep.
I stand it up, and I got people all around me going in different directions. It was like, and then after that, of course, it all settled in. But
it was definitely like half wet, half dry in that one, if I remember correctly. So that one, my dad's always real good in those sketchy situations too. So like, give him the worst possible track conditions, and he'll outride just about anyone. So I think he walked away from me in that one too, to be honest. But,
well, he knows that track. He could probably tell you where, there's a 1-inch patch over here, but it's really not on the race line, but it's over there. I know it because he's got that many miles.
He's not that analytical. Sometimes I'll ask him what happened in a race, and you won't even be able to tell me. Oh, I don't remember that.
Right.
So
now we roll into the classic weekend.
Yep.
Which we had great weather.
Yeah. I mean, Saturday morning was a little rough before the actual classic, but Friday we practiced Thursday, which was cool. Friday raced some club stuff. I think I struggled a little bit in maybe the club stuff on Friday. You have the results right there, don't you?
Yeah, all I see is first, and then you took a second in Super Twins.
Yep, to Eli. Yeah, but so I think Friday.
But then the big Thunderbike race.
Right. We had Friday we had Sunday's normal schedule. So I had Thunderbike and Super Twins like club racing stuff on Friday. And I think that was where like Hogan had whole shotted, I think, both of those races. And then in Thunderbike, Crossman and I were battling.
You guys were glued together.
Crossman was up my ass, and then I was trying to get by Timmy, and then Timmy's bike is quick. Like, if he can get the thing turned, it's fast. So, if I wait to make a move, like Crossman's right there, he'll try to take us both. Crossman's a little crazy sometimes, so he'll make some moves. But I think I might have got him in 10 or something, and then won that one. And then Eli beat me in Super Twins on Friday. Friday didn't feel super fantastic, I don't think. And then we went out for qualifying that night, and I threw a fresh set on, and then went out, just was like, all right, whatever happens, happens. And turned out to, I think I ran 5 or so 13s, and those are my first 13s ever. So I was like, oh, okay, like we're moving in the right direction. Like, just let off the brake a little more and we're good. And then I think, the second qualifying session was so late in the day that I looked at the times, and Crossman was like a 14.4 or something like that, or a 14.3. And I was like a 13.7, and I unplugged the warmers. I talked to my dad. I'm like, dude, I don't think that I'm going to go any faster than that. if I go out for a second one. I'm like, Crossman's riding 3 bikes. He ain't gonna go out in the second session and go any faster than he did unless he's putting another tire on. And I'm like, I don't even care at this point. Whatever. I'll be front row either way, so I'll just unplug the warmers. Because it was like getting dark. I think we were running at like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night for some of those qualifying.
Yeah, it was really late.
So yeah, we qualifying was good, I think, and then Saturday morning was just wet. It was pouring rain all night, and then we had puddles everywhere in the morning. So pretty much nobody. I think there might have been 1 or 2 people that even went out on Saturday morning for their qualifying. Just because you're not going to get any better time, but yeah, then like they switched around the schedule just to try to make sure that the classic was dry. So then they put 500 first, and then Thunderbike second, and then Street Fighter third, and then the classic. So then like my old man had Thunderbike and then Street Fighter back to back, which was a little rough. He was supposed to have a gap, and like Grush did what he could to get the classic to be dry, which everybody definitely wanted, and the series needed it for sure to have a good dry classic.
Yeah, especially after last year.
Yeah.
Was it last year or the year before?
Year before was the wet one.
And then with the 11 red flags?
Yeah, that was 23, and then 24 they pushed off the schedule just enough to miss the rain. Welcome was, I think, guiding that. So, but yeah, then the race just kind of went really. There's not much to talk about. Like, I got a good start. I knew Crossman was going to be right there, and then I was kind of just battling the gap signals. Like Greenwood was standing on the wall out on the straightaway, just telling me kind of where he was at in every lap.
And that's about what it was too. It was like this.
Like I looked at the times after, and I was like, I would gain like half a second, and then he would have a better lap the next lap and make it back up, and then we just kind of like accordioned a little bit throughout the race. But
yeah, because I watched you guys. I watched you guys every single lap coming through one. I was sitting right there at the fence.
Yeah,
and I mean, you guys were just glued together.
Yeah, no, he rode good. He had a good race. The kid can ride for sure.
Well, he was trying to defend his win from last year.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, there's $3,000 on the line. I get it. I would have ridden. I rode just as hard. So, but yeah, I just kind of tried to make sure I closed the door in the couple spots that I know he's quicker than me, or that he can go around me. He's real good in the outside of 10. He's real good in some places that are pretty hard to make passes. So as long as I kept the door closed pretty much everywhere, I was like, I think we should have it. So, yeah, we just ran good times. I think we were in the 13s for most of the race, and yeah, it was good. Like, didn't have much to really talk about, but it was a good race, and it was awesome that they were able to put up some money for Thunderbike. The field was definitely big. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like super crazy deep like it kind of has been in the past, but like, I mean, I think we had at least 4 or maybe 5 guys at least into the 14s, which was pretty good. So it was nice to have some good competition, and just, it's always a cool race. So I was just happy to be involved with it.
Let me throw the chat screen up. We got about 9 people in there. Just throw it up here. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Yeah, the Thunderbike, that was a lot of fun watching you guys, because it was like, I don't know if he's going to get by him. Is he going to get by him? And every lap after lap, it was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like there was a little switch. You know what it was? You got married.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and then Sunday we had Saturday's normal races.
Yeah.
At the Classic. So GTL I did, lightweight superbike and lightweight GP. And then there's my old man. Rider's opinion on what was the most important piece of getting quicker.
Oh, your dad's asking a
question.
I think it was following you around, Brett. I think that's how he got faster.
Probably. No, I think honestly, Dad and I talked a lot, like, at the beginning of the year, like what we could do to, well, honestly, at the end of last year we talked a lot about what we could do to make the bike better. It needed to be rebuilt, and it had some time on it because he raced it before I did. And then, so we had Seco Sports Cycle put something together for us, and they built a really solid, stout, but reliable bike for us. That helped a lot. Like it made some good mid-range where it didn't the year before. And it was a good bit quicker up top as well. So that helped a lot. And then it was really just, continuing to figure out riding the tire and like he would say is just given only what the tire will give. And yeah, it's like riding it to the edge. And I think before I got to these times, maybe I might not have been doing that as well. And yeah, it's definitely been like this year has been really good for like just figuring out even doing some of those times on used tires that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it on before. It's really just understanding what the thing will do. So there you go, Dad.
It's impressive. It's definitely impressive.
Wow.
So you got through the classic. When are you going to cash the check you got back there? You just leave it on the wall?
Nah, that thing's gone. I've been racing 7 races the last 2 weekends, so that $3,000 deleted itself in less than a weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
No,
it definitely doesn't take long. So at round 3, you added 2 more classes.
Just the dash for round 3. Yeah, I picked up the dash because that was at the end of the weekend. It was Sunday. Jesse had at Seacoast had a tire that my dad and I really liked, that they were kind of testing all this stuff. So he kind of came over to us and was like, which one of you wants this thing? Like, and I was like, oh, me. So I bought that, and I was like, you know what? I'll just enter the dash and see what happens. I started at the back of the grid, and I think 5th, maybe 8th. 5th middleweight, 8th overall, maybe something like that. It was a little bit frustrating, but it was the first one, and I had started from the back, and I'd never really raced with any of those guys, so it was like hard to move through some of the lap traffic, or not lap traffic, but the traffic in the race to get towards the front pack. But it got better as the season went on. So as our grip position got better, we obviously got a lot better.
Plus, you're riding in a class with middleweight bikes.
Yeah.
And you're on a lightweight bike.
Yeah. It can definitely be frustrating when you don't have the juice on the straightaway, or you get passed back by somebody you already got around. It can definitely be frustrating, but I figured it would make me better. I don't know. I had to work on passing and had to work on some things, and I think that honestly, towards the end of the season, that definitely was nice to be able to, figure out making moves on some of those guys on faster bikes. It taught me something for sure. It just took a while of frustration to get there. So
yeah, it was. It's impressive to see you up there, on your Aprilia RS 660 with all the middleweight guys. That's awesome when you get up there. It's like we talked about before we came on too. It's really a good platform. Yamaha's come out with the R7. Now they get the Gixxer 8. But yet when you watch Moto America, the 660s are still right up there.
Oh yeah. No, it's a really good platform, and honestly, like the bike will do just about anything you want it to do, and it's even in stock form, they're really good. I mean, even Mike Lee was riding one with stock suspension and was well into the 15th. So like the bike itself, chassis wise, is just really good, and it's a knife, and you can kind of, you can cut through some stuff that you may not on a bigger bike. And I mean, I know from experience riding bigger bikes, like the heavier Ducati was really good. The front was really solid. It would, never do anything weird, but with the 660, you just look and it turns, It's like a 300 with motor.
Yeah.
So.
And then we roll into round 4, and your 4 main classes, the GTL, the GP, lightweight superbike, Thunderbike. You swept the top of the podium on all 4 of those.
Yep.
You got a second in Super Twins, and then
Eli.
yeah, and then you did the What are the other 2 classes that you added? Because I didn't see those.
So
I was going through stuff.
I got the points right here too, I think. I picked up. I didn't pick up. I just picked up the dash for round 3 and round 4. Round 5, I picked up lightweight super sport, which is a late Sunday race.
So in 3 and 4, you did the dash. So 4, like I said, it was a sweep, top of the podium. Second in Super Twins, and then the dash. I couldn't find any results for the dash.
I got it right here. Experts.
I tried to go on Speed Hive, but
nah, you just got to use the points. Yeah, so middleweight GP, the first round was like 8th. So that was round 3. I got like 8th or something. Second round was 5th, 21 points. Yeah. 5th in middleweight GP. So that one was a little bit better. And then round 5, I was 2nd in middleweight GP. And then round 6, I won middleweight GP.
Crazy. Yeah. When did you realize that these points were starting to add up pretty quick? Was it right after the Classic?
Pretty much, yeah. Doucette was actually the one that kind of like poked at me, just because he had a little bit of a rougher year for himself, setting up the Suzuki and bouncing around, not sure what he was going to do, and then bought a 660 and then was having problems setting that up. So he kind of knew he wasn't going to really be in the running. And I think he was doing the math like pretty early on and realized that it was kind of just me and Eric Wood up front as far as points go. And at that point, I was only, I was doing 5 races, and then I picked up the dash, so I was doing 6. And then that's when Grush and I just started talking briefly when he had bought Rick Breen's 660 that Adam Kells built. And that was a super sport legal bike. My bike's not super sport legal with some of the stuff that Seacoast was helping us out with. And yeah, he was just like, yeah, throw stock wheels on it and ride it if you want. So I picked up lightweight super sport at round 5 and round 6, just to, like I said, get a points buffer just in case something happened in the rest of them. It turned out that we didn't fully need it just because of the second in middleweight GP at round 5 and then the first in middleweight GP at round 6. Like the extra class didn't really make a difference points wise, but if it were to be needed, we had 2 wins in that class in round 5 and round 6. So it was like just kind of, like I said, a points buffer just to make sure that we were still leading and we're still ahead, because I knew Eric was going to show up and win every single race that he entered. So like it was, so we kind of went into round 6 and was like, okay, kind of have to win at least 6 races. And luckily
it was that tight for the total points.
I don't think it really was. Like when I was doing the math, I think I was up a decent amount. I think I might have been up 29 or 30 points going into the last round for the overall. But then I just wanted to make sure that like if something bad happened in one of them, that like all the rest of them were good. So it was just like, okay, like try to win at least 6 so that you keep that lead.
Yeah.
Especially with double points, the math is just.
Plus, it's a double points.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So that. Your dad's got another question. We'll throw it up here.
During my riding development. I would say it's the 660. It's got to be the 660. It's my favorite bike by far. But I did ride a 390 that was pretty badass when I was on a 300. That thing was quite possibly I would say the better of the chassis of all the 300s that there were before the 400 came out. So the 400 came out and it had a lot more juice than those 390s did, and then the Ninja 300 did too. But yeah, 390 was good. I think that obviously you have to ride those things real hard to go anywhere near quick. So again, another thing that my dad and I talk about all the time is like guys that come into the sport and just jump on 600s, jump on 1000s. Like you don't have that developmental period on a small bike that's slow, that you really have to work on corner speed. And, that's where you see some of these guys in the middleweight ranks that like they can ride. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not talking crap about anybody. All those guys are good riders. It's just from a developmental standpoint, like being on a smaller bike for the beginning and like moving up slowly is definitely better.
And there's a lot to be said too, because a smaller bike, you have to ride the bike.
Yeah.
You can't depend on twisting it and going.
Yeah, I think like I said, a lot of those guys definitely could use some corner speed stuff, and like a lot of them, you can tell they're all trying to make passes, and I saw it from behind. A lot of them trying to make moves on groups of 5, 6 of them, and they're doing all kinds of shit to get around each other, and it's like you could have just like carried 2 miles an hour more through 1A and 2 and just blown by that guy that's ahead of you, but none of those guys were really doing it. So it was like, then I'm trying to carry corner speed because I'm on a small bike, and you can't because they'll park you. And it's something that like my dad and I talk about all the time. It's with the kids that come up from the smaller bikes, like the Eli's, the Adam Mascaro now, Renee, like when Brianna McHugh was here, she was quick on a little bike. Like all these kids that came up from little bikes, they'll all be weapons on bigger bikes just because they ride them. They'll be able to ride them like they did the little bike. And despite how fast their bike is, they'll be able to outride a lot of the guys in some of those bigger classes just because they have the experience just rolling through everything and letting off the brake. So that's definitely something.
Like I said, you have to ride them. Especially the 300s and stuff.
Yeah.
Starting off with the real small bikes. I mean, you got to ride the wheels off of them.
Yep. And that was kind of why we did it that way when I was young. I was in high school at the time, so really wasn't going to get on anything else. I was racing motocross before that, and my old man he had bought a 390 for him to ride because there were a bunch of guys in the 300 shit, and he was like, we'll build a bike and see what it does. And then I showed some interest when he realized that he hated the little bike, and he was like, oh, well, you can ride this, try it out, see what you think. And yeah, I mean, definitely forever grateful for that, because that bike definitely was what got me into it, got me interested. And I've been up at the track for my whole life, so it's like always wanted to do it. It was just waiting game, and then we got into the dirt bike stuff, and I was pretty obsessed with that stuff for a while too. And I still am. I ride dirt bikes all the time, but it was just kind of I was just hoping that the old man had a plan for me to road race, but I wasn't gonna beg. I was like, yeah, well, whatever. If he's got a plan, then great. If not, it's all good. I like the dirt. But so the 390 thing was definitely good for development. All those kids that do it, you can tell in their riding. Even when I get behind some of the 400 kids in GTL, you can definitely tell they ride them hard. So
you got a fan.
Oh, some here. Legend.
Well, the dirt bike stuff too, that helps.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
And I try to ride the dirt bike a couple times a week. Sometimes
I went out and bought a little KLX 300. I've got single track that's 1.5 miles down the road. Yep. So I try and get out a couple times a week just to get the workout in.
Yep. It helps.
I'd love to have a Husky, but I got too many toy. I just went out and bought a toy hauler, so
Oh, nice. Good for you.
yeah, I'm getting to the comfort zone now.
Yep, it's nice for sure. Mine was wife
Makes
induced, but it was worth it.
makes a big difference.
Yep.
So yeah, 456. It was a sweep on your main four, and then of course the super sport,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then I mean the dash, the middleweight. Uh,
Yeah, the dash was good.
and
Yeah.
you clinched the number one. You were on. I think your photo was on Cycle World
I think it was Road Racing World, but yeah.
or Road Racing World. That's right, Road Racing
Yeah, a
World.
couple times this year. It was kind of cool.
That's pretty impressive. That they've been around forever.
Yeah.
John Ulrich, I've known him for a lot of years. Probably doesn't remember me. I knew him back in the '90s when it was the big publication, the big
Right.
giant newspaper thing you got, and you flip through it to see all the results. And back in the Stone Ages. And yeah, I think my wife had some photo. My wife was a track photographer for a while. She actually had some photographs published in Road Racing World, and there was another magazine back then, National Privateer. She was one of the staff photographers for them. So let's see, what's Jim got? Jim wants to know. I'd say it was probably the first one right after you got married.
Huh.
You didn't have to worry about that.
Nah, probably not. It was either that Pro Thunderbike thing, or I do wish that the dash at round 6 was full length, but I was also not looking for a restart because I had already gotten into the lead. So I would say probably that or the Pro Thunderbike thing, but had the dash gone full length, I would have enjoyed it more, but I didn't want it to restart because I knew I was going to have to do all the work that I had just done the first 6 laps again. So yeah, one or the other for sure. Maybe the Super Twins one that I beat Eli into. I know he loves that one. He blew a shift or something going into one when he was ahead of me, and then I just went by him when he was up in the mole trap, and then that's when I did the 13-0 and was all pissed off that I didn't do a 12.
Let's see. Samir's got a little something. What's most impressive about him? Yeah, he did. He did. That was the impressive thing. And as he's just said, he had to do a lot of work because he doesn't have that punch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, nope. Less power is definitely harder, but it's doable. The speeds this year were kind of right where I knew I wanted to be anyway. So, we looked at the times before I entered, and I'm like, I think I can probably get in there and be in the mix. So it was definitely frustrating at first, like I said, but it was good once we figured out how to get to the front quick.
Well, you've also got a target too, because I think Ben has done a 12 on a 660.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, low 12.
Yeah, so you got a target to aim for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. I had the 13-0 at round 6. I was like, I had done a 13-7 the lap before, or whatever. My lap timer was flashing green at me. I went up the hill and looked down at it. It was like minus 0.82 or something. I'm like, I think that's a 12. Cool. So I just finished the lap, and I came out on the straightaway. I looked down. It was like minus 0.74, minus 0.73, and it was just kind of going, the wrong direction. I'm like, fuck. And then of course I get over start finish, and it's a 13.02 something. I'm like,
you're right there.
And then I saw guys ahead of me from the wave ahead of me for that lap, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it again. So I was like, well, that's it. Last race of the year, not going to be able to do it. Oh, well.
That gives you a good goal for next year. Plus, you got to defend the number 1 plate.
We'll see.
Because they'll be gunning for you. The Doucettes will be gunning for you.
Yep, for sure. It's
And
definitely not played in his favor with the new rule, but this is the anti-Rick Doucette rule. So um, it's, it's all good. If he can ride though, and he'll always be lurking. And once he figures out that 660, he'll be a weapon. The guy can ride for sure.
well, that's like Fletcher Root. He runs the 300 class with Rick and Lucas, and he always ends up being a Doucette sandwich. That's what we call him when he comes in.
One or the other beats him.
Yeah, it's mainly been Lucas this year.
Yep.
Lucas was on fire this year on the 300. He'd just eke away, and that's how it would be. Fletcher gets stuck in between them.
Yep. It's a tough class.
All right. So what are the plans for next year?
We're not fully sure yet. I mean, the 660 is still real good, and it's ready to go. It's like I said, it does exactly what I need it to do. It's a fantastic bike, and my dad and I talked a little bit about doing something different, but I don't think it's we'll see if it's in the cards. I doubt it, but we'll either way, like we'll either be on the 660 or we'll be on something else, but more than likely we'll be on the 660 and try to defend the Pro Thunderbike thing. And there's still a lot that can be done with that bike, and I think that it's definitely a 12s bike for sure. So there's definitely like you were saying, there's definitely targets and goals that I could have either way. So not 100% sure. It's a little early for me to know what the heck I'm doing, but the bike is still good, and Seacoast still supports me a ton, and those guys are next to none with the Dunlop support and the support with the dealership. And I mean, I'm going there Saturday to get fitted for a new suit, and like those guys just kind of do everything.
Yeah, I love the way they take care of you with that kind of stuff. I went up, got fitted for the suit, the helmet. It's all custom fit. You go in, they can make changes, whatever you need.
Yep.
I managed to get down to my weight goal, so
fighting weight, nice.
Because over the winter, I wasn't going to be able to get into my leathers this year, so I had to go on a crash diet.
Yep.
And
it's tough. But yeah, no, they definitely support me a lot, and like I said, it's those between them and my old man, I definitely couldn't do any of this without them. Seacoast definitely makes it easy, and they make the 660 program really easy. They have a lot of that stuff in stock. You can build one right out of their store, like a street one, or you can buy their Trofeo that's ready to go. And show up, buy all the shit at once, and you can go race. Those guys are phenomenal. So
what do they say? Buy once, cry once.
Sure. I don't think I've heard that.
Buy once, cry once. Do it right the first time, and then you're not crying multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
so good.
I'm not going to hold you up unless anybody else has got any more questions. I mean, it's just been an amazing year for you. You just had so much going on. You're racing. You're an old married man now.
Yep.
How did your wife feel? Well, you said that you guys were going out, 6-7 years before you got married. Yeah. So she kind of knows what she was getting into.
Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been a year that we've been together that I haven't been road racing, and racing motocross too. Like she comes to all the motocross stuff, like not always the open practice stuff, but if I race moto, she's there. We'll take the camper, the whole thing, and she supports it, helps me out, and does anything I need her to do. She takes care of the dog, hangs out. She loves the track too, and it's good that she doesn't hate it and likes to be there and likes to support it. So that definitely makes it easier. As I get older.
I can only imagine. I was lucky. My wife was into photography, and she kind of fell into that role at the track.
Yep.
And I mean, she used to mainly do Roebling Road, but Daytona and stuff like that.
Yep.
With National Privateer back in the day. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. We've been on about 45 minutes. We've had some good questions, and it was great to chat with you. I'm hoping to try and keep this off-season chat thing going, even if it's only once every couple of weeks. I know I'm going to Daytona in October.
Nice.
All of my stuff is all set, thanks to Bam Bam. He's got all the garages lined up, the camping spots lined up.
Cool.
He's kind of like the Niemer coordinator for everybody going down.
Well, he ain't racing, so he can coordinate like that, you know.
And it's been so many years since I've been on that track, but it's just nice that there's going to be a bunch of us down there. And
Cool.
But aside from that, Adam, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can get some interest and get this thing going again. It did really well the first year, and the last couple of years it kind of faded away, but got to get some people interested in maybe coming on. So with that, guys, hey, can't wait till next year, and hope to see everybody at the banquet. And when is it, February?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it's the weekend after Valentine's Day or something.
Yep, it'll be fun.
Cool.
So with that, guys, have yourself a great evening. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe we'll end it.
Maybe.
Or maybe my my computer's messing up.
I don't know. You just froze up.